Bad roads and lack of road maintenance has been attributed to accidents on Nigerian roads. Agreed, some roads are bad across the country, but we must also accept that the driving attitude of some drivers is also causing havoc on the road. Even with the good roads and appropriate road furnitures, accidents still occur. How can we save lives when it does happen? Welcome, this is Road Matters and I am Fatima Umar. Now let's drive to Enugu State. Though the state has good roads, some others are not so good, and with the driving attitude of some drivers leading to accidents on the road. Matthew is on the road and will be our guide in the coal city.
Barry Sports quote that safety is 30% common sense, 80% compliance, and the rest is good luck remains evergreen and apt. Safety of road users has become so worrisome to drivers, commuters, as well as road traffic officials.
How does a road user go out in the morning, comes back peacefully in one piece after the close of work or after his businesses for the day? So there are a lot of people that are graded among road users. So our job as regards that is to ensure that this category of persons leaves their home and come back peacefully in one piece.
However, the Federal Road Safety Corps in Nigeria classified some of the factors responsible for the safety of roads into different categories in order to curb the rate of accidents recorded across the country.
Research has shown that 80% of the crashes that are being recorded are basically caused by man, that is human. You could have some glitches with mechanical, weather, and so on. But at the end of it, you discover that it is the man that's at the top of these issues. Number one, a driver that is not properly trained. We have driving schools you are supposed to go to. The government has invested so much on road, furniture, and infrastructure. But there are persons who do not obey traffic lights. People just simply refuse to obey simple directives. There are informative signs, there are mandatory signs when you travel. At least with your basic education, you should be able to obey these signs. And if we do obey these signs, you will discover that these crashes will be minimized. Not totally eradicated, but like our goal one says, we bring down fatalities in crashes by at least 15%.
Here in Enugu State, the government on their own part deemed it fit to leverage on infrastructure development to ensure that commuters navigate the roads to avoid mishap. Some of the facilities provided by the government include but not limited to traffic lights, zebra crossings, parks, as well as other components.
You go around Enugu, let me take Enugu for an example. There are so many traffic lights in Enugu. On many occasions, I've discovered that when we drive on the streets of Enugu, who beat these traffic lights at random. You could also see what the MOT is doing in town. But when people are arrested, oh, they don't like me, they want my money. No, we don't want your money.
In spite of the aforementioned, some motorists in Enugu State attribute the major challenge of safety of the roads to pockets of bad roads in some locations within the metropolis. This is the popular Ababa Junction here in Enugu State. This junction links commuters plying the Onitsha-Enugu Expressway, the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway, as well as the Enugu-Abakaliki Expressway. The total state of this road leaves much to be desired, and commuters are crying foul about its state.
The road is already deteriorated, very, very bad. The vehicles on the road are very few, but we can't go. When the traffic passes, 1, 2, 3 will stop because there is no road.
This road is not safe for us anymore.
A horrible experience. I just pray that the government somehow intervene.
Let us borrow a quote by Arnold Schwarzenegger, which says, "Government's first duty and highest obligation is public safety." As such, the government should therefore employ the services of road maintenance agencies to ensure the safety of the populace. I now take you back to our Abuja studios, where Fatima is waiting for the continuation of your darling program, The Road Matters.
Maintenance of roads sure contributes to the safety of road users. Let's all play our part for safer roads, as breaking traffic rules leads to unsafe roads. Let's drive to Akure in Ondo State and join Adeniyi on the Ondo-Ore Road, where he takes us through the safety of road users in the Sunshine State.
This is Ondo-Ore Express Road. Over the years, this particular road has claimed so many lives due to fatal accidents. Some of the major causes of road accidents is said to be due to the fact that most drivers overspeed, and of course, they don't obey the traffic rules. Drunk driving can also be seen as one of the major causes of road accidents. Available records shows that in 2021 alone, Ondo State witnessed a total of 347 cases of road crashes, with 180 deaths and 957 persons sustained various degrees of injuries. Out of these figures, the first quarter of the year recorded 117 road accidents, with 65 people losing their lives, while 370 people were injured. In the second quarter, the total cases involved were 114 crashes, 74 deaths, 323 injuries of various degrees. Available statistics also revealed that there was no reported cases of road carnage in Ondo State in the third quarter of 2021, while the fourth and last quarter of the year had a record of 116 road crashes, 41 deaths, and 264 injuries.
As far as Ondo State is concerned, I can vividly say that the rate of accidents has reduced drastically. And this as a result of what the government has put in place in Ondo State.
Distraction while driving tops the list of causes of most road accidents recorded in Ondo State during the year under review, as some commercial drivers blame passengers for this, while some others attribute the causes of most road crashes to drivers' carelessness.
Most of the time they are in a haste to get to their destination, come back to come and for more passengers, you understand, so that they could make more money. But some of the real thing is I can talk about negligence. If it's on the highway, you talk about unnecessary overtaking.
Accident rates in Ondo State, especially in Akure metropolis, is a bit on the high side. This is judging from my own personal experience as a medical doctor that has worked particularly in this state specialist hospital for a while now. And from our experiences and data available to us, and from first-hand experience, so to say, we have been receiving accident victims, especially from bikes.
Most of the drivers feel that they want to impress either themselves or the passengers. and you see somebody going in an excessive speed, the speed that is beyond the prescribed speed limit, the inherent dangers that if there's a crash, chances of getting higher number of casualties is always there.
However, heightened awareness on precautionary measures to be taken on the roads can further reduce the rate of road accidents.
They last us, say maybe we no drink, all road safety, that they talk to us, say maybe we no drink. That one don't do our constitution, don't drink. But the plea where I go plead is say if they help us do road, everything go smooth, no accident, no anything.
They should not do anything they just overtake. If they want to overtake, then they make sure that the road is clear. We don't allow those people who are selling paraga in our premises. That's because we know that if somebody is over drink something, he can misbehave.
There is something we call a driver theory test in Ondo State now. For you to be certified, for you to be approved of driver license, you have to sit for this exam. It's a 40 objective questions for only 30 minutes. Most of the questions are pictorial. So that is to say, those are the things that all drivers must know before they carry vehicle on the road.
Early morning cry, we go to the motor parks, we sensitize them, we talk to them, and then of course we've gone to churches, we've gone to mosques.
Road users are now being advised they ensure that they obey all traffic rules and of course ensure that their vehicle is in good condition before setting out on a journey. I am Adeniyi Adejugbe and I hand over to Fatima for the rest of the program.
Thank you, Adeniyi, for that enlightening package. As a road user, do make sure your car is in good condition as you use the road. Now, have you ever witnessed an accident? What has been your response and the response of other road users? Beyond taking pictures, do you know the emergency number 122 or 112? Road Matters will take you through on the use of the emergency numbers with a demonstration by a traffic safety advocate. Let's see this.
Road traffic crashes generally are not as a talked about topic in Nigeria. We often say it is not an interesting topic in Nigeria in the sense that people are not aware of the catastrophic consequences that this thing has on us and on our economy. And I'll give you a typical example. In 2020, at the heart of COVID-19, it was recorded that over 1,000 persons were killed as a result of COVID, right? But that year alone, over 5,000 persons were killed on the Nigerian road. Now the question I keep asking people, which is a pandemic? I mean, when you look at the indices, it is road traffic crashes. So we've not grown to that level of awareness where we understand and see this as a very big problem. And so what we have continued to do is to raise the consciousness of Nigerians, raise the consciousness of road users, that this road traffic crashes is killing a lot of us. Over 1.35 million people die annually. It's just like a population of an entire nation. Many countries of the world are less than 1.35 million in population, yes. A country like Monaco, like 900,000 population, and a country like Gambia here, well, 1-point-something million population. I mean, so when you look at those statistics of people killed on the road, it is alarming. Most recently, I drove by a scene of accident, a road traffic crash, and as someone who is knowledgeable in the road safety field, the first thing I did was to move away from the road and find a safe place to park. And then once I was able to do that, the next thing I did was to call the National Road Safety Emergency Line, which is the 122. Fortunately, a lot of Nigerians are not aware of this number. I dialed the number and it was picked. But one thing I also observed, it took a while before the number was answered. And according to global best practice, it's not supposed to be like that because it is an emergency number. And then I also noticed that the response time was poor, was so long. Global practice say at least within the urban setting, it should be 10 minutes, 8 minutes. It took a while, before the road safety officials were able to come around in the scene of the crashes, to first of all ensure that there is free flow of traffic and take the victims of the crash into, for first aid administration. The experience wasn't as smooth as it should be, and so for me as a road safety advocate, I would advocate that the Federal Road Safety Corps optimize their response time in terms of ensuring that they have more people attending to the emergency response number. I also would advocate that the response time should be worked upon, be optimized to ensure global practice. At least within the city center, we should be able to achieve a response time of 10 to 15 minutes. In that way, we are able to save life. In that way, we are able to ensure that the rate of damage to property is reduced to the BRS minimum. We say that road safety is a collective responsibility. Once a crash happens, instead of you to take your phone and start taking picture, the best thing you can do is to call 122 or call the national emergency line, which is 112. That is the best way you can save a life. But it's unfortunate that Nigeria are not aware of these toll-free lines. They are not aware. So there is need for increased awareness on the 122 emergency national road safety number and then the 112 national emergency line. So we are going to try the national emergency road safety line, which is the 122. But please kindly note that it is not, you don't try this number just for showing sake. You try it, you call the number once you run into a scene of an accident. You just dial this number. So I will test run this number and then we'll see what it gives us. So I am dialing the 122 now, 122. And I'm going to put it on loudspeaker so we can all verify its efficiency.
Welcome to FRC Emergency Call.
So as you can see, the line has connected just on a single dial. And our attempt to talk to the call center agent. So one other thing we observe is that it's taking a time for them to pick this number, which is what we are advocating for. So it's over a minute and the number is yet to be called. An emergency line is supposed to be picked immediately. So we call on those who are responsible for this to try and optimize it for the sake of saving the lives of many Nigerians that are being wasted on the Nigerian road. So it's free of charge. So even if you don't have airtime, you can still call and they will still pick and respond to you. So it is above 2 minutes and the number is yet to be picked. I'm going to call the national emergency line. So if you try the 122 and it's not connecting, you can also call the national emergency line, which is 112. So I'm going to test run it now and see how far it goes. So I'm going to dial the national emergency line now, 112. So I'm dialing the national. So the moment you dial it, it would show emergency number. Again, this number is free of charge. You are not charged.
Caller number 10, waiting to speak with a representative. Thank you for your patience.
Hello, my name is Simon Patrick Obi. I am a road safety advocate in Abuja, Nigeria. Yes, so we've been attempting to call the line, and it is not connecting. We're just creating awareness on the need for Nigeria to call 122 in case if there is a scene, of a crash. Yeah, but one thing we also noticed in this call is that the response time of picking was low. It took us over 3 minutes before the number. Yes, it took us 3 minutes before the number was picked, and then the time when the number is picked and when personnel are sent to the scene of a crash is always a bit late. And so we are also calling or advocating that the time of picking be optimized. The response time should also be optimized so that we achieve a global best practice of at least 10 minutes or 8 minutes within the urban centers. Yeah, so I'd just like to ask you, is your number 24 hours just for the interest of awareness? Is the 122 National Emergency Line 24 hours? Does it work within 24 hours?
Yes, sir. 24 hours.
Okay, so you heard it, that it works 24 hours. And it is free, isn't it?
Yes, sir. So free.
All right.
It's so free.
Yeah, so how long does it take for a response if there is a crash?
Once we call for the crash, we call the nearest command.
Oh, okay.
The nearest command, yes.
Okay.
The nearest command will go for the crash.
Okay. So in terms of people calling, do you think Nigeria are aware of this number? Have they been called?
Majority of them are aware.
Okay. How many calls did you receive today?
A lot of calls.
A lot of calls. Can you put a number to it?
At least I pick up to 442 calls.
You picked up to 442 calls in a day?
Yes. Though some are front calls and so on.
Okay. Well, I mean.
There are a lot of important calls.
Okay. You mentioned that some were just prank call, but majority of the call, were they a road traffic crash scene, or were they?
No. It's not majority that crash. Majority are even prank calls.
Okay.
Some people they want to check their license.
Okay. So. Oh, interesting. So people can also call this number to check their driver license.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So once they call for license, we give them their card number. They will now go to Board of Internal Revenue to pick up the license with that card number given to them.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for a road safety advocate like me, I think it is important to also create more awareness on this line so that more Nigerians are aware. You recall that if a crash happened, what people do first is to take pictures and maybe do cameras, But if people are aware, the first thing they can do is to call 122, which would save. It's a toll-free line, and it will save a lot of life, So we continue to appeal to the government. We continue to talk to the government on the need to invest in things like this as it is done outside the country and developed country. Because at the end of the day, once we do this, we would save life, and save a loss of properties and valuable, valuables. All right. Thank you so very much for you too. So there is need for us to consistently raise awareness. There is need for us to educate the Nigerian populace. There is need for us to, even take this public awareness to schools, where people get to understand some of these basic life-saving things that they can do.
When you see an accident, use your phone wisely. Do not take pictures for clout. It could be you or your loved ones in there. Dial the emergency number and save a life. That's all we have for you on this episode of the program. Do follow the program on the social media handle on Twitter at RoadMattersNTA or send a mail to roadmatters@nta.ng. Until the next episode, I am Fatima Umar. Treat every road user and accident victim as your loved ones. Bye-bye.